Hello everyone and welcome back to Game 2 between OGSZenio here in the top right corner and our blue Protoss Socke. We're going to be on Xelnaga Caverns now this game, a map that a lot of people are a lot more familiar with. It's a very common map that a lot of people, the pros, have said that they liked. It's pretty standard. Each base has a natural expansion right down this ramp here. Normal expansion, not like the Tal'Darim ones where they have barely no minerals and only one gas. And then there's a lot of entrances to this expansion though, so it is a little tricky. There's this brush here that units can actually run all the way down and loop around and come right into the mineral line. There is destructible rocks also. This can be another entrance into the natural, and there is a pretty large opening right here that's split into two by this gap. As I was saying, I did just get off work, so I am a little tired, but I'm pretty excited. I had a few cups of coffee, feeling pretty fantastic, and pretty excited to cast these games for everybody. Socke is here doing the normal scout, just seeing what's going on, making sure there's no insanely quick pool for any sort of cheese on him. That build that we saw last game out of Socke, the Forge Fast Extend, really doesn't work so well on this map. It's a lot harder to hold off, so he's probably just going to be doing his normal Gateway Cybernetics Core Zealot wall off here to hold off any early pressure. This probe is going to be sitting here trying to distract Zenio from expanding, and most likely will micro around here in a circle to make sure that the expansion is delayed as long as humanly possible. Zenio, though, not being a scrub nub, is getting his spawning pool and a gas down, so he will be able to chase off that probe no problem. He's not going to waste time trying to take it down with a drone. Last game was a very good game for Socke. He was able to apply that Forge Fast Expand air build with Stargates that is becoming fairly common now, and it's very hard for the Zerg to deal with. He has to react just right. Recently I watched a game in the TSL, and this is a spoiler alert here. Again, I will say this is a spoiler alert, so if you do not want to hear this, go watch all the TSL games, specifically Mondragon versus... Gosh, now I'm going to forget the Protoss that he was facing. Regardless, the Protoss Forge Fast expanded, and Mondragon decided that the best move would be just to go Mass Roaches, because he can only have so many air units, and if I make ground units faster than him, then I'm just going to go in and freaking kill him. And that's exactly what it did, and it worked very well. He's the only player I've seen do that so far, and though he claimed he was completely out of practice, it seemed to work quite well, and he looked like a pro while doing it. We do see the Warp Gate research coming out here. Stalker on the way, and he is chrono boosting that Warp Gate research, which oftentimes can mean that we're going to see a rush coming. He does have 2 gas down as well, and looks like he's saving his chrono boost all for that Warp Gate. This Zealot's easily going to be able to hold off this Zerglings, and this drone here is going to sweep in. A lot of people are doing that trick now where they will throw up a Zergling to distract the Zealot and then put a drone on the mineral line here and sneak it in to go scout the base. Do have a Stargate coming down here, so a little unorthodox play coming. This could just be a trick, and Socke could just be trying to trick out his opponent. He knew the Stalker was going to be coming out soon. He was going to be able to kill this easily. So I wouldn't be completely surprised to see a cancel here and then maybe a 4-gate rush. Yep, there's the cancel. And more gateways coming down. Oh, it makes me feel like a genius. The Gold League genius. I guess I am rank 1 gold. No big deal. Actually, everything I've predicted pretty much in all the games so far has been wrong. We do have a spawning pool down here for Zenio, getting Zergling speed, and also doing his transfer up to his hatch that just finished here. Looking at the production tab, got a few Zerglings on the way, some creep tumors coming down, those 2 gateways on the way, and also Warp Gate research is complete, and he is turning that gateway into a Warp Gate now. Here is where the builds can vary a little bit. He can, a lot of players like to go a 3-gate expand, or he could throw on a 4th gate here and do a 4-gate rush. With this pylon down here, it's an indication he's going to go for this Nexus. So there is his Nexus. His expand will be a little bit later than the Zerg, but that's a pretty common theme, so it's not that big of a deal. Roach Warren coming down for OGSZenio, and a Forge was starting to come down. I'm not sure if that was canceled or what happened there. Yes, it looks like it was canceled, but he did start a Forge and apparently decided against it. Zenio here doing pretty standard stuff. Got an Evolution Chamber coming down as well, so he can start getting those melee upgrades. And he is getting his second gas here at his main now. So sitting on 1 gas and 1 on the way for Zenio. Socke a little bit supply blocked, but not very long, and now he is chrono boosting out Hallucination, which is very fun play. A lot of people like to do that, and especially since he started with that Stargate, he can actually hallucinate a Phoenix and keep that little plot that he was going with Zenio there going, and keep him kind of on his toes. He's not going to be sure what to do, and we'll see if he's reacting. Yep, we see Spore Crawlers going down from Zenio, so he is reacting to that air style that hit him last game. He's worried about it, and he doesn't want it to happen again. We do have a layer coming down here for Zenio. He is getting some good creep spread down. He's got a few tumors out here that he's going to be spreading all over the place. Starting to take down his rocks. He'll probably planning on taking this as his 3rd expansion. He is running Zerglings around so you can hit it on both sides. And really, I don't see Zerg players do this often enough. They'll be good and aggressive about taking down rocks, but why not just throw Zerglings down on both sides of it, especially if you have speed researched already. If you see something incoming, you can see he has great map control here. He's got both Cell Nagas. But, I mean, take down the things twice as fast. Here's that Hallucinated Phoenix coming in, which is just going to keep that that little trick that he's playing with Zenio going. So he is going to keep him on his toes there. Hydralisk Den is completed, getting our upgrade for Roaches, our speed upgrade, and just kind of droning right now. Well, not droning, actually getting Zerglings and Roaches and some upgrades for him. We can see a 4th gas coming down here for Socke, a Forge coming down as well, and a robotics facility almost finished, and just finished even. Also Burrow coming down for our Zerg player Zenio. And he's also started taking his 3rd expansion down here in the top left. Zenio's still keeping decent map control, has at least 1 tower at all the time, and he's running some Zerglings around here. Socke is smart and does have a little pylon block off here, so Zerglings can have a semi-hard time trying to get in here and actually do some damage. But he is going to bring him in and see what he can do. He is going to back off. He sees the army composition, and really little pokes like that are really beneficial for these players to come in and see 7 sentries here. He's going to know with Zerglings going against 7 sentries and like 4 zealots, it's going to be a bad idea. It's really not going to be a good situation for him. So he wisely backs off. But he did get a lot of information there. And I want to see what Zenio actually knows now. From looking at Socke's base, he does still see that Stargate there, so he hasn't been able to get a great look there. And the Phoenix, Hallucinated Phoenix, is walking around and just kind of shooting some things and getting shot at. 3rd base is almost complete here for Zenio, and he's going to be sending drones down now to start saturating that. Roach is making a small push up here, but really there's no way they're going to be able to compete with this army, especially with force fields. Even though Burrow is done, I feel like it's a losing situation for him to keep pushing at that. Do see 3 burrowed Roaches right here that could try and sneak their way in a little farther. This cannon placement is pretty decent though, and it's probably going to get him most of the site out to here. So any burrowed Roach probably isn't going to be doing too much damage right now. The robotics play is complete. We do see a Colossi on the way and extended thermal lance on the way as well as some ground upgrades coming for the Protoss. Zenio's creep spread is looking fantastic. Creep tumors everywhere, and really, that's really going to take off here in a few moments. You're going to notice that most of the screen is going to be looking purple. And a little macro hatch coming down in the main. I like that play. He'll probably get another queen out so he can vomit larva on that as well. A Spire coming down as well for the Zerg. And this macro hatch is just about to finish. Both players just kind of massing up. Protoss does have 1 Colossi out, and Observer on the way to take a look at what's going on. Also doesn't want to have to deal with Burrow Roach play. It can be very annoying for a Protoss with no Observer, and can really turn the tide of a game. And as you'll see here, he pushes in with his Roaches, then pulls back and runs all these Zerglings into the main to start taking out probes. Great move there. And, you know, he might not have gotten any kills there, but he's making this Protoss army move back and forth. And as you can see, units kind of start getting separated. And so if he plays his cards just right, he can swoop in and try for a Colossi snipe, or just take out a few units that are kind of... Zerglings running back in again here to do some more damage. Zealots, though, placed perfectly, of course, as these players always do, to block them from getting into the main here. Photon Cannon coming down in the mineral line to prevent those Zerglings from doing too much damage. Also, a 4th base coming down for OGSZenio. You see extended thermal lance is almost finished for the Protoss, and Protoss wants to start doing a little poking here. Probably going to take out these creep tumors, and he might not actually push all the way into the base, but he is going to try and just make the Zerg stop turning up. The Zerg does have 8 Corruptors on the way when that Spire finished even. Those Corruptors are going to be doing a lot of damage to those Protoss, and hopefully he doesn't overcreate those Corruptors. 8 is actually a pretty solid number. He's got 3 more on the way. There is only 2 Colossi out on the field, so probably plenty. And this is a very heavy, or Stalker-heavy composition. He's coming into third to do a little push in here. Force field's going down, but really doesn't cut the army down that much. Those force fields were a little better, but really most of Zenio's units are still able to hit here. Corruptors coming in do take down 1 Colossi, but those Stalkers were focusing down the Corruptors, and they're only able to take out 1 and take down the shields on another Colossi. Beautiful force fields here, doing a lot of damage to the hatch. More Corruptors coming in, but the Colossi wisely trying to back up a little bit. He is going to get taken down. Guardian Shield went down for a moment, but is already gone. Stalker's still pushed in. There's a lot of Roaches coming in. They're going to be able to take out these Stalkers, no problem. As we can see, Protoss ground armor coming down as well. More Roaches coming out for Zenio. And we can see our Protoss throwing down 4 more gates here with some cannons just to stop these Zergling run-bys because he wants to take this base here. There is a burrowed Zergling, which is a big pain when you're trying to take an expansion. This cannon will finish here, though, and be able to take out that Zergling. 4th base is complete for Zenio, and he's going to be able to start saturating that. As we can see, there's about 8 drones on the way here. Supply, the Zerg is way ahead. 156 to 95. That is a huge advantage. 60 supply ahead is a huge advantage in this game, and with these pros, they really have to make a mistake to lose something like this. He is keeping these Roaches burrowed, as there's a few of them that aren't quite at full health, and he may as well keep them burrowed just to get their life coming back up here. We might have a little engagement here as we see the Protoss army moving out. These players are always really cautious, though, to engage. They want to be sure that they're in an advantageous position. And these Roaches are going to come down, just hit these gateways here. Pretty much free pickings for the Roaches because they can outrange those cannons and still hit the buildings. So 1 warp gate looking like it's going to go down here. And the Protoss army is going to come here and try to push Zenio back. The Zenio's going to push back into him. Army was a little separated here for Socke. That Observer is out, and so these forces are going to be able to keep attacking the Roaches. Unburrow, though, they notice that they can still be seen, and they'll run away. He sacks a few Zerglings just to kind of stop the army and make them shoot at something. These Roaches are still backing up here. We do have a drop here in the main. Going to take down this main Nexus here and be doing a lot more damage. A lot of Roaches here, 8 Roaches. And the Protoss decides it's time to push. He does not have time to wait anymore. Beautiful force fields coming down, really separating that army and permitting only a few units to attack. But those Roaches just move in that burst, and he knows that he needs to get them all clumped up to do enough damage so they can all have the proper range that they need. Doesn't look like the Protoss can be able to recover from this 71 supply to 160. All of the Colossi are down. Only a few Stalkers left from this attack. And Socke is going to be sub 70 supply after this. He is really hurting. More unit-producing structures were starting to be taken down in his base. He did bring out a Colossi and a few Stalkers, though, to stop that. Now these Roaches are going to come down and push at the 3rd base down here, doing a lot of damage to the warp gate. It's going to take out these cannons, and they might just push and try and take out the Nexus, because he knows that if he can starve him for a little while, he does have 4 bases that are very well saturated. Throwing down Corruption here on a few Stalkers just to kill him quicker. And Socke is going to say GG here, as he knows that there's really no way he's going to come back from a 67 supply to 183 supply deficit. Thanks for watching Game 2 here, guys. We'll go to Game 3 next. Currently 1-1 in this series. Both very exciting games and very competitive, good play from these guys. So we will keep going in just a moment. See you momentarily.